everyone. Welcome to this regularly scheduled meeting of the Westerville Board of Education. It is Tuesday, November 14th, 2023. We are in the Town Hall chambers. Ellen, can we have roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman Carey. Good evening, everyone. Mrs. DeRoberts? Here. Mrs. Drew? Here. Mrs. Granato? Present. Mr. Healy?
Here.
Mr. Lacavoli?
Here.
Dr. Regan Lefebvre?
Here.
Mr. Riley?
Here.
Vice-Chairperson Mr. Cassio?
Present.
Chairman Mr. Carey?
Here.
And Wethersfield High School Student Co-Representative Ms. Mary Dunn? Here. All present.
Thank you. If we can rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and have Christina, John, and Marjorie lead us.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have a motion to approve the October 24th, 2023 regularly scheduled board meeting?
I move to approve the 10/24/23 regular board meeting minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. With a motion and a second, any comments, discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Opposed. No, abstain.
Abstain. Mr. Cassidy and Mr. Healy.
So noted.
Thank you. Ms. Drew, I think you have a motion for us.
I move to approve the October 30th, 2023 special Board of Education minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions, comments, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Abstain.
Motion carries.
So noted.
Thank you. Mr. Emmett, recognition of outgoing board members.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here this evening. Congratulations, first and foremost, to all of our incoming Board of Education members. This is one of those evenings where it is really democracy at its best. It is that transfer of power and continuing to move the town forward. Last night for town council, this evening for the Board of Education. This evening is one of those that is bittersweet, where we will say farewell to 4 of our board members, and we certainly want to honor them for their service. Dr. Jennifer Regan Lefebvre, could you please come forward?
Forgot about this part.
Surprise.
Dr. Regan Lefebvre was very instrumental in working on a variety of different subcommittees over the course of her 2 years on the board. I had the opportunity to get to know your son Felix quite well. We also had the opportunity to work with your younger son at a Human Resources Committee meeting, so it was very nice playing cards with him as we did our business. Your efforts and your work here for the Wethersfield Public Schools have been very much appreciated. So on behalf of the Wethersfield Public Schools, we'd like to present you with this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next we have Miss Amanda Drew. Amanda can best be described as a bulldog, someone who demanded accountability. She was very spry with the finances and was always interested in making sure that the Wethersfield Public Schools were safe, clean, and healthy. A staunch supporter of the school district and a, correct me if I'm wrong, cross-country booster parent as well. Yes, go cross-country. Amanda has done exceptional work over the course of her 2-year term on the Board of Education. We will certainly miss her expertise and her compassion for our students and for our educational system. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Amanda Drew. I could please have Mr. Chris Healy come up. Now, I recall back in 2017 when Chris Healy was elected. Correct me if I'm wrong, did you not ask for a recount Yes, you were surprised that you got elected, but I will tell you, in the 6 years that you served on the Board of Education, you made an absolute difference. From your chairmanship on the Student Programs and Services Committee, to the work that you did on our budget, and to your support of our long-range building plan. You have done excellent work here for our district, and your time here has been greatly appreciated. So I will certainly miss you, miss sitting next to you on the dais. But again, Chris Healy, congratulations, and thank you for your service. Mr. John Cassio, come on up.
Ding, ding, ding.
34 years. 34 years of dedicated service, never taking a paycheck. 1989 to 1999, Weathersfield Board of Education. Then a decade with Town Council, only to return to the Board of Education in 2009. John Cassio has done it all. Every conceivable committee, every budget challenge, COVID pandemic, Newtown, and getting through that, it was extraordinarily challenging. But John has been there for the kids and for the families of Weathersfield. There's no two ways about it. I did some research, and I looked for the Board of Education members with the longest tenure. And John stands tied with Catherine Preston, who served on the Weathersfield Board of Education from 1942 to 1966. So I did a little more research, and I found that Ms. Preston left us back in 1992 at the age of 99. So
There's still hope.
again, on behalf of the Weathersfield Public Schools, the town of Weathersfield, John, thank you for your many years of dedicated service. Much appreciated. John Cassio, everyone.
Should have given him a bigger apple.
Any board members with comments? Ms. Granato.
Well, I'd like to stay on John right now with this. And John, it's amazing how much of your life you've given to Weathersfield. And as a lifelong friend, I want to say, and I'm thrilled to be able to say thank you. Thank you, John. But now, you were chairman of the board, right? Yeah. And there's another chairman of the board who wrote a song that seems to be fitting for tonight. I promise I won't sing it, but Sinatra's words said it all, John, my way. And now the end is here, and so you face the final curtain. My friend, you've made it clear. You've stated your case of which you're certain. You've lived a life that's full. You've traveled each and every highway, and more, much more, you did it your way. But, John, you certainly did it your way, and it was a very successful way. But I also have to think of Louis Armstrong, who said the words about what your objective and strategies were. Again, I promise I won't sing, but it's a wonderful world. And the colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? And really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And John, you made our Weathersfield world better because of your dedication and hard work. Thanks, John.
Anyone brave enough to follow that one? Yes, Mr. Roberts.
Well, I don't know how well I will follow that, but I do have some things to say. It's been an honor to work with everyone who is leaving tonight, but I just want to single out Dr. Jennifer Reagan-Lefebvre. It's been an honor and a pleasure to serve on our Weathersfield Board of Education with you. Jennifer, you will be missed. We could count on you to listen critically and quickly cut to the heart of any matter with questions that encouraged thorough responses, eliciting the precise information that people were looking for. Your insights were valuable and thought-provoking, and I hope that no longer being on the Board of Education will not stop you from being vocal about the things that matter to our town and to you also as a citizen of Wethersfield and as a parent of a Wethersfield school student. You are to be admired for stepping up when Wethersfield needed you, despite being a full-time professor and a mother of 3, not to mention an author and a world traveler. Although tonight you leave us in your capacity as a board member, we expect you to return to serve in elected office in Wethersfield when you have a little less on your plate. Jennifer, thank you for your time and immeasurable contribution. Stay in touch so that I do not have to hunt you down. I also want to recognize Amanda Drew, the best dais seat mate ever. We met volunteering for 3 hours at Cove Carnival when we were both running for the board. At the end of the 3 hours, we realized that we pretty much agreed with just about everything. I remember saying that when we finished our shift, that if she and I happened to be among those elected, I thought we would work well together. And that's how it turned out. Amanda, you are smart, passionate, and your work ethic is to be admired, greatly admired. Your commitment to service, and you're just a very busy person who can't seem to not volunteer when asked. Thank you also for giving your valuable time, very valuable time, to Wethersfield, and hope that you will choose to do so again another time.
Any other board members? Dr. Regan Lefebvre?
I'd like to say a few things. I think the main thing I want to say is thank you. Thank you to the people of Wethersfield for putting their trust in me. It has been an enormous honor and a privilege, and I have learned so much, and I've really enjoyed it. This is not the first time I've teared up on the dais. I've actually done it pretty frequently because I care a lot about these issues. I want to thank my family. This has been a big sacrifice on their part, and they're really, really glad that I'm done. I want to thank all of my colleagues up here. I didn't know most of you well before I started on the board. Some of you I didn't know at all. And I feel I've gotten to know each of you and your unique qualities and skills. And it has been a pleasure. And I think I have, even though we might feel that we're very different in many ways, seen eye to eye with each of you on something important. You know, I think in particular, Chris, of the work we did to get musical instruments funded and how we really fought for that. I think of the work on the Student Programs Committee that I've really enjoyed. I think of working with Amanda on the Human Resources Committee to really get that exit interview program up and running. You know, the stuff that people really care about. I think for the 4 of us who are stepping down, that it's probably just a step away. I think the 4 of us are so passionate about, listen, I don't know anything about what your plans are.
I'm just teasing.
But I think somebody, Chris, you too, with your depth of love for this town, passion for politics, and sense of public service, I think we will all be serving this town in future in some capacity, whether it's an elected capacity or in some other kind of unremunerated capacity as a volunteer. I've tried to be a total pain in the neck as a board member, to push hard for things that I care about. I'm sure some people are going to be glad to see me walk out that door, because I know I've pushed hard on some issues, and it has been a privilege to do so. And I'm talking too long, but that's nothing new either. In some ways, I'm disappointed with the last 2 years. There have been frustrations. I didn't feel that we got as much done as we wanted to. I think we've learned a lot along the way, and I'm really enthusiastic for the 4 of you who are joining the board. And I thank you in advance for your service, because it's going to be a lot of work, and it's a heavy responsibility. I think nothing matters more to the health and stability of our town than having a strong educational system for our youngest and most vulnerable residents. It's absolutely critical. And there are two things that I think need to happen over the next few years. One is that we get renovated schools. We move down the path to renovating our schools. They desperately, desperately need it, as you know. And then the other thing, and this is where I think I will come back and be a total pain, is that I think one way we can have a really strong impact quickly on the health of our children is to move away from diesel-powered school buses. And
She's going to get
We knew it.
which has become an issue that I care very much about, because I think it is in some ways a difficult thing to do, but in other ways a very easy fix. It's a glaring problem we see in front of us, and I hope over the next few years we can move towards a resolution there. So anyway, I'll shut up now. I really appreciate this apple. It's going to go next to my Tony and my Grammy. And those are not cats. And I just want to thank you all again for allowing me this opportunity, for allowing me to get to know you, and finally, thank you to everybody who works in Wethersfield Public Schools. You are all heroes. You do an amazing thing, not just for our children, but for our whole entire town, and I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other board members? Ms. Drew?
Okay, I promise I'm not going to cry, so I wrote something. I'm grateful and honored to have served with all of you. I've heard many grumblings and complaints that our elected leaders are more concerned with party politics than our town's residents, and I completely disagree when it comes to the Board of Education. This group has worked so well together, and our disagreements were always respectful. And I think that other parts of our town government should come and talk to this board and see how bipartisanship really does work. When Chuck first put me in between these two ladies, I was like, whew, this is going to be fun. But honestly, I wouldn't have had it any other way. It was wonderful, and I have made friendships that I hope will continue. I am leaving public service, but will miss all of you. But I will not miss the long nights. I am going back into my mom era, and I am not sad about it. But please, please check in on me every once in a while, because just this past weekend, I had 10 preteen cheerleaders at my house singing Taylor Swift songs for hours at the top of their lungs, and I might need help or a bottle of wine. So, but if I'm going to give you any advice for any of our new people, it will be two things. One, don't be afraid to speak up and ask the questions. In the back of your head, you can say, what would Amanda say? And then maybe say it a little less blunt. And two, when making decisions on policy and budget, always think of the teachers, always think of the students, and always and never forget the parents. They are the third leg of this table and are often overlooked, but nothing that we do, we will do well without them but nothing we do will ever work well if we continue to ignore their voices. So thank you and good luck.
Any other board members? Mr. Healy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your leadership over these last 4 years as well, and working with you, excuse me, as a vice chairman, as a backbencher, I really appreciate it. Also, the trust in the work we did on program services, where Dr. Lefebvre and I had a lot of fun pulling courses apart and generally being a pain. But at the same time, I'm very grateful to the people of this town who made the mistake twice of putting me on this board. And I hope I've done as well as I could to kind of focus on a couple of things, which my biggest thing is always, achievement. And, the more we focus on achievement and getting there is what I think the parents and students want. And I've been amazed at the strength I've seen in our teachers who do a great job, our administrators, and the parents who juggle so much in this world to try to participate and keep their kids engaged, and the kids obviously who need our support and our guidance and our encouragement. So I've been very lucky to do that. I want to also thank Bobby Granato for her kindness when I first came on this committee board and allowed me to take a football and run with it, and I think it turned out well for all of us, but I do appreciate you being that kind and considerate and confident to do that. And I can just say with everybody on this board, I think we've all at some point worked together on one issue or another. Like Dr. Lefebvre, I have my disappointments. I think that we are entering a real critical phase where we need to get these kids caught up in so many areas. No one's to blame for how we got here necessarily, but that's my big disappointment that we weren't able to turn it around as fast as I think we should. But that's what the next board's going to do, and I would be happy to support those efforts as well as getting these elementary schools fixed. We have to do it. We have to do it wisely and I think incrementally, but we got to do it, and I'll be more than happy if you think it'll help to work, or you might want me to be opposed to it. I don't know how this could shake out, but I just think that we need to, as a community, get to that as soon as possible, and I know you will. And other than that, my wife Susan has had to obviously put up with these many nights out. She has plenty of things for me to do, along with everyone else. But it has been, as I say, a learning experience, and I really deeply appreciate everybody who accommodated me when I kept forgetting agendas and I didn't have the paperwork and keeping me on task and all that other stuff. So I'm very grateful to have served and honored this community in some capacity, and I wish you all well in the new ones. The old ones, it's going to feel pretty good soon, so that's what they keep telling me, but I will miss, obviously, the work we do here. Thank you.
Mr. Riley.
I just wanted to thank John, Chris, Amanda, and Jennifer for their guidance and expertise. It's really helped me a lot over these last few years, so thank you and good luck to you.
Thank you. Mr. Lacavette?
I too would like to thank the departing board members. It's been a tremendous time getting to work with you all. I just want to say that there's bits and pieces of each of you that I'm going to take with me. I've learned a lot from you all. I think governing bodies and decision makers everywhere could learn something from all of us. I think we worked very well together, regardless of party affiliation. I think we put the town first, we put the school first, we put the kids first. If you just took away our labels, you wouldn't really be able to tell whether we were Dems or Republicans. And I think, maybe it's Chris. It's funny we have the furthest right and the furthest left sitting next to each other right here, but aside from that,
We got the instruments.
yeah, we worked really well together, and I'm definitely going to miss you all, and I learned from all of your experience. Some of you have more experience than others, right, John? But thank you all for your service. It's much appreciated.
All right, I told John I'd clear the way for him and he could end board comment tonight. But Dr. Lefebvre, it's been great serving with you. I actually do enjoy your insightfulness and how articulate you are and how predictable you are. So that is very good and enjoyable. Chris, thank you for sitting next to me. We took on the pandemic together and led this board, and I'm proud of the direction we went. And I do appreciate all the insightfulness you gave and advice you gave in the background. And we will sorely miss you up here. Amanda? I don't know what to say. Amanda, I will miss our back and forth and our bickerness, but I do know every morning I can call you and we're still going to be friends and talk it over and know that none of it lasted more than 5 minutes, except maybe one night.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one night. Computer issues.
Yeah.
And John, everyone has heard, John gave me my diploma in 1996. He was the chair of the Board of Education when I graduated. He also dealt with me as a 5-year-old at CCD class at Corpus Christi. But I went to John in around 2007 when he was helping coach girls cheerleading, and I said, John, how do I get involved in Board of Educations? And you have guided me since then. You were the chair when I first got on the board. So I appreciate all the guidance and wisdom you've given us, and the town will miss you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Well, I guess I have a few things to say. It's hard to believe I was 36 years old when I was first elected. Many of you in the audience weren't even born yet. But just think of yourself, if you're over 36, what it's like. And now if you're 36, just think 34 years later where you could be. So many thank yous to the Republican Town Committee, the administration, teachers, support staff, students, my fellow board members, the town of Wethersfield, and mostly my family, Kathleen and Kylene. First and foremost, this journey has been awesome. I am so honored and grateful to have had the opportunity and privilege to have been a part of the Board of Education for 24 years and the Town Council for 10 years, continuously. There wasn't a break at all. Many birthday parties, many events, many happenings, unfortunately, to the roadside to come to the Board of Education. This has been once-in-a-lifetime experience for me and a big decision not to run again. However, this journey I would not have traded for anything. This has given me a chance to be a key part of my community in shaping our town and our children's future as a volunteer. Our accomplishments have been many over the years. One of my, I think, most memorable accomplishments is the all-day kindergarten in Wethersfield. I challenged the board at that time. We were going to do a study. I challenged them. Let's not do a study in one school. Let's do all the schools so we wouldn't have any problems. The board agreed, and all-day kindergarten was a success. My other greatest accomplishment was the turf at Catone Field. We were only going to be doing a partial field and not the whole thing. That was like paving half a driveway. So the town listened, we learned, and you see what the success is down at Catone Field. Those were just some of my accomplishments. My memorable moments, handing out diplomas to the students that graduated. Many handshakes, many admissions. I'm sure there's boxes of pictures of me in their albums with me handing diplomas. But that's some of my great memories. The fond friendships that I've developed over the years with my colleagues, it's just been priceless. I have met and I believe that I have touched many, many lives along the way. We have lots to do in Wethersfield that still need to be accomplished. My advice to the new board, stay strong, be yourself, be a good listener, have a good attitude, be respectful. Laugh once in a while, it helps. On the way to a meeting, put some loud music on. Good music helps the soul. Plus, put a smile on your face. It goes a long way. Long nights, a lot of anxiety, but it works. Stay away from the M&Ms, the candy, the ice cream afterwards. A new journey has started for all of you. Nobody can go back and start a new beginning, but anyone can start today and make it a new ending. An author, John Maxwell, leaders must be close enough to relate to others, but far enough ahead to motivate them. And I think that's your challenge as a board, to work together with the town council, to get the community involved. It's not the Board of Ed, it's not the town council, it's not the library, it's the town of Wethersfield. It's your community. In front of the board members and the new board members, I gave you a little packet. It's like a diploma. I had the opportunity to go away on a business conference, and I want you to take this. You can read it. It's Margaret Wheatley, the author, Turning to One Another, Simple Conversation to Restore Hope to the Future. Each time you read this, it comes out a different meaning, a different attitude, a different belief. So when you're frustrated and not certain where to go, what to do, read this. It's amazing what it can do to you. So with that being said, I've enjoyed the ride and will miss it immensely. And I wish you all the best of luck with all that you do and all that you're faced. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart.
Do we have a motion to recess?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This meeting is in recess. Thank you, everyone.
Town Clerk Schroeder, if you could please come forward to swear in the new board members.
You can see.
Unless you change your law. You should be here. You're here. Mike was there. Okay.
See it like they were last night. Okay?
Yeah, you do what you want.
Okay. So you're...
She's there, you're there.
So Michael's going to be here. You next stand over here.
If we could have the board members-elect come forward, please.
Yes, so that's a change from the picture.
And I have the list in my head. You have it out of order, and now I'm all confused. All right, there you go.
You got it.
All right. Good evening. Could you all please raise your right hands? And do you, Bobby Hughes Granado, Marjorie Callan Carson, James F. Riley, Christina Hernandez Williams, Elizabeth Walters, and John Weiner solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Connecticut so long as you are a resident thereof, and that you will faithfully discharge according to law your duties as members of the Wethersfield Board of Education to the best of your ability, so help you God? I do. Congratulations.
When the music stops.
Chuck, I've heard word from the gallery, switch with Liz so that you can send her outside. That's what I heard in the gallery.
All right, are we ready? Or you take a couple? And back up.
I think you are, yes.
It's just the one Ken's here. Right here. Was this the last one? We can get it right, Matt, you're over there. Janice?
I just remembered what I was doing. I was like, I'll just start here. It's easier. Oh, he's got a map.
Jim, you're on the wrong side.
I'm on the wrong side?
I'm here, you're here.
I'm here. Matt, you're next to me. Then you're here.
I know I'm here. I know this is supposed to be. Yeah, we're mixing it up.
Sorry, I think it really says. No, it says Chop Christina Liz. Unless it changed. It doesn't. We're here for you.
It doesn't matter. Figure it out later.
Go ahead.
I'd like to call this meeting of the Wethersfield Board of Education back to order. I'd like to entertain a motion for the nomination of the Board of Education Chair for the Wethersfield Public Schools.
Right here, I'll do that. I move to nominate Bobby Hughes Granado as the Chair of the Board of Education. In these past 2 years, I've learned firsthand the many reasons that Bobby is one of Wethersfield's most beloved teachers. She brings her above and beyond qualities, talents, and skills to her role as a board member and mentor, patiently, kindly, and compassionately encouraging, sharing knowledge, and listening, always listening. This is the way a true leader demonstrates leadership skills. With Bobby, it's always we rather than I. Bobby encourages initiative, independence, finding and using one's own voice, and learning the facts of the matter. If 40 years of teaching, nurturing, and loving second graders and their families is not enough proof of Bobby's commitment to the education of Wethersfield students and families, there is more that we can point to. With Bobby, there's always more. Not one to retire and put her feet up like a normal person. Bobby is no normal person, if you haven't already gathered that. Bobby plunged right into the work of improving our entire school system by becoming a Board of Education member and chair. Bobby has vision, passion, and energy, and is the cheerleader we want to have on our team, Team Wethersfield. Once again, I move to nominate Bobby Hughes Granado as chair of our Wethersfield Board of Education.
Do I have a second?
I second that motion.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Those abstaining? Madam Chair, congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to entertain a nomination for Vice Chair Secretary of the Wethersfield Board of Education. Right here.
I'd like to nominate Matt Lagavoli for Vice Chair of the Weathersfield Board of Education. Matt is a great public servant and will no doubt be excelling in that role. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations, Mr. Lacavoli.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much. And I do first want to thank all those voters who came out last week. You know, it is democracy at work when we stand at those polls and we see people coming in. And I'm always most excited when families walk in, when the children are there. We are the best role models for democracy that our children can have. So I thank you for your votes, and I thank you for doing your part of democracy. And I'm also so honored to have been elected chairperson of the Board of Ed. I'm humbled by the trust you have given me, and my fellow board members and I are committed to working tirelessly to ensure the success and growth of our Weathersfield Public Schools. And we thank you for your continuous support. You know, I understand that our educational landscape is constantly changing and that our children's futures depend on all of us understanding their needs and moving our school system forward. One area of urgent need is the improvement of our elementary schools. It's no secret that these buildings form the foundation of our children's education. Upgrading our facilities, ensuring a safe and conducive learning environment, and providing the latest resources is of the utmost importance to our kids' growth and well-being. As a community, let's get this job done. In getting this job done, we must involve local businesses and community members who share our commitment to education to come together and make a difference and ensure that our children have access to a first-rate education they truly deserve. And our teachers, staff, and principals who tirelessly mold and every day inspire young minds warrant more support. We must acknowledge their dedication and meet their needs in order to attract and retain exceptional educators. We do this by providing them with adequate buildings and resources, professional development opportunities, but most importantly, the respect that they deserve. Giving them that respect creates an environment where they can unleash their skills, passion, and experiences and thrive. And in turn, that fosters the success of our students. So we're now in this journey together, and let's not forget the importance of our town's history. This town, with its rich colonial heritage, has always championed education as a pillar of growth and progress. So it's now our responsibility to improve and build on it. It's our time. So in closing, let's have all of us bring our education system into the 21st century as we provide our kids with the tools they need to succeed in an ever-changing world. It's our time to leave our imprint on the education history of our beloved town. Thanks.
Yeah, so I just want to be very brief. I didn't have written prepared remarks, but I just want to thank all of my colleagues up here for even considering me for vice chair. It's humbling, and it's not something I take lightly. I'm going to continue to dedicate my time going to committee meetings, board meetings, meeting with residents, just basically collaborating with everybody up here and everybody in town to seeing to it that the school district can remain as good as possible and can be as good as possible moving forward. I also want to congratulate all the winners, all of the new members up here on the board. It's not easy to win an election. It takes a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of organizing, and it takes good leadership. But you all went through it, and you did it. Congratulations, and I really look forward to working with you all. Thank you.
else on the board for comments?
I just wanted to say that when I ran 2 years ago to be on the Board of Education, 3 things were foremost in my mind. Number 1 was improving and replacing our school buildings in environmentally visionary way, so that we're building for the 21st century environmentally and also for our children's education. And we've learned a lot about that, and we know that engagement isn't just something for students, it's a community thing, and I've really learned a lot about how important the entire community is to everything that we choose to do or look to do with our schools. The second thing was that I really wanted us to be a school community where all students and families feel seen, feel that they matter, and feel connected and engaged. I found out very quickly that a lot of those initiatives have been started already, so our job going forward will be to see the data that comes from that, especially in this time after COVID, where we have mental health issues and issues with absenteeism. All of those contribute to whether or not children are learning. We really need to address those items. And last but certainly not least I was aware that our COVID funds, ESSER funds, would not be around forever, and that we needed to have budgets that were visionary and understood that that money was going away, that our town still needed to invest in the things that teachers and students would need to continue their recovery. So we still look for all of those things to happen and to continue, and I know that with this team, we will be successful in making inroads as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else with a comment? John?
I can go. Good evening, and thank you for everyone for coming tonight. This is something that I would have never imagined happening to me. I now hold the distinct honor of being one of 18 elected officials here in our town. That is an amazingly profound statement and something I do not take lightly. I want to thank the residents of Wethersfield. Without your support, none of this would happen. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve and realize that all, as our newly elected Mayor Ken Lesser would say, 27,000 plus of you are now my boss. I will work hard for you, listen to you, collaborate with you, and make you proud. That is my promise. It will be my mission to make sure we communicate to you in new, more creative ways so that you are also in the know. As a parent of children in these schools, I myself understand your vantage point and will be mindful as we work together. To the teachers, faculty, staff, and students of Wethersfield Public Schools, I am here as a member of the Board of Education to make sure we provide you the support you need to be successful. Now begins the actual work of providing that great service to you all, and that means working across political aisles as well as with our newly elected town council. To my fellow Board of Education members, one thing my parents taught me, who are career educators, is they always mention the need for actual teachers and educators to be on the Board of Education. I professionally am not a teacher and will never pretend to know all the ins and outs of a classroom. As a member of this board, it is my promise to always listen to you, especially those of you who are or were educators. My elected position does not replace your experience and will have no doubt be relied upon for that experience when making critical decisions. Finally, to my family, my wife Tina and my children, Eli and Claire, without your support, this isn't possible. The next 2 years is going to be a lot of work, yes, but the reward at the end of the day is still coming home to you all. Eli, I still cannot promise you less homework, sorry, bud. Claire, however, we may be able to do something about a new playground at Hamner, although that's a much bigger conversation this board will be having in the near future when we address new learning environments for Wethersfield. Thank you all for this amazing opportunity. I'm excited to get to work and look forward to a bright future. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Anyone else?
I can go.
Marjorie?
Hi. I just wanted to say a few words. I'm just so excited to be here.
First, I want to thank my family, the Carson clan over here, for all their support throughout as I've made my way through this campaign and selection. To my husband, Tom, my never-ending source of wise advice, and my son, Charlie, who's here tonight, along with my mother, Beverly Callan, who have always supported me. And out there somewhere, she's watching, hopefully, my daughter, Edie, who is at UConn, and she's doing really well and loved being a student in Wethersfield. And I also want to shout out to my brother, who lives in Maryland, and he's always been so supportive of me in anything I wanted to do, and always likes to hear me out. And my in-laws, my sisters-in-laws and my brother-in-laws, most of which are teachers now, and I just respect them and everything that they do. And they're so wise, and they give great feedback on the teaching profession. I started this journey many years ago as a mom of little kids who got involved in our elementary school, Hanmer Elementary, and I was just helping out, right? I just wanted to help out where I could. And as I helped with different committees and projects throughout, I always felt a family of community members gather around me and just got increasingly more community-minded. And I learned from my community, I learned from these people, and I just really liked helping out. I liked helping with others and making a positive influence, or having a positive influence on the schools in my own little ways, but also serving as a role model for my kids and how it is important to lend a hand and serve if you can, or when you can. Being part of this community, I've always enjoyed getting to know and hearing from the principals, the teachers, the great paraprofessionals, and the other parents as our children grew through elementary school, through the middle school, into the high school. And during this time, I learned how wonderful each school community was in our town, and the traditions and the pride that they have. But I also saw that teachers and administrators and staff have a tough job at times, and they need our support, and especially through the challenges of COVID and since then, right? So I just want to keep helping. That's why I'm here. And so fast forward, I'm with this great group of leaders. I can't wait to get started with all the big things we have to do. We have a lot of work ahead of us, and I look forward to working with all of you. So I'm thankful for the residents of Wethersfield for putting me in this role, and I hope I will make you proud. Thank you.
Any other board members? Jim?
Good evening. I wanted to point out, as far as the buildings go, that one thing that folks have mentioned to me quite a bit are the facilities and the maintenance of those structures. So, I think going forward, we need to look at maintaining what we have so we don't end up in this situation. I wanted to thank the residents, the students, and the educators and administrators, and I welcome the new board members here as well as those remaining. I look forward to working with you. And I want to thank my wife for putting up with me during this election when she mentioned that we're going to a swearing in. My daughter in second grade said, well, was aghast. What kind of words are they going to say against each other? But luckily it was civil. So thank you.
So far.
Okay, last call. Anyone else? Liz?
I'd like to say thank you to everyone who supported me throughout the campaign. It was one of the most wonderful experiences that I have had. There is no other chance where you really get to talk to everyone or as many people as you can meet in the town, truly listen, and just see what's important to them. I've always wanted to be on the Board of Education, but I had to wait until I had more time, that I wasn't on a sports field 50 hours a week. But I do find this to be an A team that I have joined. I'm very pleased and honored to be working alongside of you, and I look forward to the great things that we can do together.
So public speaking, even though I'm a teacher, is not my favorite thing. I'm more of a doer. I will say that Bobby is the perfect chair because her eyes light up every time we talk school. Literally. And that's my favorite part of being a teacher. I teach at Quorum High School. I love my students. And I am learning not only to show them that taking intellectual risk and taking risk and working hard is important,
And so instead of just saying it, I'm literally doing it. My son's a 13-year-old at Silas Deane Middle School. I value education greatly. I mean, it was my favorite place to be in school. I went to school in San Juan, Puerto Rico. I went to school in Hartford. I went to school in Wallingford. And I think that's why I get along with students, because I went to so many different schools. My family was moving, and we just did that. So being on the Board of Education right now is humbling, it's an honor. I am so nervous about it, but I'm so excited because I think I can make a difference. And listening to everyone here, working with Mr. Elmer, who I've met so many times, Sally, I'm just excited. And thank you for choosing me, and I hope I make you proud.
Okay, and now we need to hear Life at the High School.
I'll go after
Mary, you're going to go after.
Okay, there's been a lot going on lately at WHS. On Friday, we hosted the annual Veterans Day ceremony where we were joined by Wethersfield veterans and heard from speakers as well as performances from the band and choir. There was also a wreath-laying ceremony before Friday's football game to honor our country's veterans. WHS has also been doing our part in helping the community. DECA's annual food drive has been collecting donation, as well as National Art Honor Society Paint Night last Thursday. Also, a group of seniors are participating in Habitat for Humanity tomorrow, helping build houses in Hartford. The next football game is scheduled for next Wednesday against Newington. Tonight, field hockey is taking on Daniel Hand in their semifinal game, and the state finals for girls swim team is being held at Southern Connecticut State University. Finally, we're all looking forward to this fall's drama production, Bloody Murder, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Thank you. Sorry, Chuck?
Yes, Madam Chairperson, thank you. I'd first like to start by congratulating Christina, John, Marjorie, and Liz. I look forward to working with all four of you and getting to know you. As Dr. Regan Lefebvre said, a lot of us come up here, we're never met each other, we're all strangers, and by the time it's over, we know each other very well and generally get along. So look forward to working with all four of you. Matt, congratulations on Vice Chair. We do have something in common. We both like numbers and budgets, so that is definitely our faces light up when it comes to those. So I look forward to working with you. I've enjoyed the last 2 years with your perspective and your insight, and just getting to talk to you and getting to know you and knowing that it's never party politics when it comes to you. It's always straight and forward and what's best for the town. So I definitely value that. Bobby, congratulations on being chair again, chairperson, sorry, I'll get it right. We look forward to working with you, continuing the working relationship that we've had the last 4 years. Since I like to embarrass John when he was up here, so Bobby, when you were teaching, I actually watched you teach when I was student teaching in 2001 at Charles Wright. So we go way back. And of course, I always look forward to being on the golf course with you. I see the priorities of this board is definitely improving those elementary schools, as it's been said, but also making sure we improve our achievement and, most importantly, continue to meet the social emotional needs of our students and staff. That's been the priority of the board in the past, and I see it as a continued priority. Lastly, Mayor Lesser, don't forget you used to sit up here, so be gentle to us during budget season.
Okay, thank you. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. Okay, and thank you all for coming. And please come to any meeting. We love having an audience. Thank you very much.